Okay, I want to get a video kind of showing why the muffler shop type exhausts aren't always the best. I have another video of this system. Let's see if I can get a good zoom of this. The sound of it. It sounds pretty good. This is a 2.5 inch custom made catback with a MagnaFlow muffler. But what you can see, or maybe can't see so well, it's hard. All this right in here looks like rust, but it's actually, let's see if I get to focus on my finger. It's actually soot. And looks like there's a hole developing in this weld. The angle, or the position of this weld is not exactly the greatest position anyway, because it's pointed down, so I believe the water, or the condensation in the system has been pooling up in this area, and it rusted out, or found a weak spot in the weld. You can see it's been kind of traveling down the pipe. Not sure how long. Enough to build up some soot. So, it sounds good. I think I paid under $300 for it, something like that. But you do get what you pay for. And, while this is a pretty minor exhaust leak, I'm going to fire it up in a minute and see if we can see some bubbles. Usually with these kind of leaks, you can see like little water bubbles popping out of them when you first fire it up. But you kind of get what you pay for with these. I mean, it's aluminized, and a lot of times these welds will do this. I've done these types of exhausts and never really learned my lesson on a couple of trucks I had, and it seems like you always end up with something like this. And I'm sure, it definitely depends on the shop, and I've used a couple different shops. One of them patched up some of the work pretty well that another one did, where a lot of times they'll, and it almost looks like what's going on here, they'll take a larger diameter pipe, slip a smaller one in and weld around it, and there's two problems with that. It creates a disturbance in the flow, and it also creates a pocket for moisture to build up, so that does kind of look like what, it's hard to tell. It seems like they may have slipped in, maybe put a 3-inch pipe here, and this is a 2.5. Either that or they may have just flared this out to fit it. Either way, that's a good view right there. You can see right in there, this is looking pretty rough. I could have the shop fix it, but more than likely it's going to do the same thing again. So I'm just probably going to go with either a Cobb or thermal R&D exhaust the next couple weeks. Not a big fan of exhaust leaks. At least it's at the rear of the car. Really behind the passenger cabin. The door, or the cabin area is right in here. Don't really want any carbon monoxide getting into the car, so let's go ahead and fire it up and see if we can see those bubbles. So we don't have any moisture coming out yet, but you can see right there, the light on it, there's definitely a hole forming. I thought that may have been where they pulled the weld rod out, but there's nothing like that anywhere else, and it's kind of too close to the pipe itself, so that's kind of where you see a lot of the soot starting to emanate from, right there. So I believe that is where our leak is. It's a nice little hole forming. So this exhaust isn't done, but it's definitely, this is going to get worse. So there's obviously a place in here where the moisture's cooling on the inside, so even if this is touched up with a weld or some of the exhaust sealant, I still think we're going to have a leak form again, just because of the nature of how this usually works. It's kind of right, it's in a downward angle on the bottom, so it's a perfect place for things to cool. Anyway, just a word of caution, if you're going to go ahead and do one of these, see all the soot here, if you're going to go ahead and, a little bit of rust, a little bit of soot, you can go ahead and do one of these custom exhausts. Maybe try to find a shop that welds the stainless. It's not going to be too easy, or just buy a nice pre-manufactured exhaust that most likely will have a better sound, and at the very least it'll be designed to fit the car well. So there you go.